No, I mean,
Yeah, that can happen.
It probably could happen.
Like, someone killed someone at the train station the other day. Someone pushed someone off the train station.
What was that for?
Over, I don't know, money most probably.
Yeah, something.
Threw him off the trains, off the bridge, killed them straight.
Yeah?
Yeah. He wasn't even old, he was only like 20, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We tried to speak to the people who'd been questioned by the Mercenary Justice Squad during their investigations, but none were prepared to go on camera. Whilst the Mercenary Justice Squad may be one of the few openly operational vigilante gangs, online it appears that support for this kind of justice is bubbling under the surface on a much larger scale, with sites such as Navigo leading the charge. It seems from millionaire businessmen to impoverished teens patrolling their estates, crime is high on the national agenda, even though government statistics actually suggest that crime has massively decreased in the last 10 years.
We have, at this moment in time, our highest ever prison population. We have more life sentence prisoners in England and Wales than the whole of Western Europe combined. We have more young people in prison, more elderly people in prison, more women in prison than ever before. The average time spent by somebody who's given a life sentence has increased by over 3 years in the last 10 years. Since coming to power in 1997, New Labour has introduced over 3,000 new criminal offences. When people tell me the criminal justice system is soft, I would like to see the evidence of that, because I'm faced every day with other types of evidence which tells me that law and order has become a party political issue, and all political parties want to demonstrate that they are tough on crime.
The Mercenary Justice Squad have hit the headlines and become online heroes for many, just as Jason Smith and Fearless Francis have. But the gang, with their hardline approach, seem to justify the warning posted by the Brit flick Harry Brown about the future of a vigilante Britain.
It's not about blaming it on the police or about blaming it on anyone in particular. It's just showing the helplessness of the situation that is arising in this country. The film, I hope, is a warning of what could be or what is happening.
Criminologist David Wilson has his own explanation.
I've got no doubt whatsoever that we are at a very interesting phase in our cultural development as a nation. And I think what's most significant in driving some of the vigilante action that we've heard about or read about or seen or experienced is the fact that the gap between haves and have-nots, rich and poor, has absolutely fundamentally widened in the last 20 years. And there are some communities in our country which seem to me to have been all but abandoned because they simply are no longer needed. They simply have to be managed. They simply have to be controlled. And in those circumstances, if you're bringing up a family, if you're living in that community, if you're trying to make your way in the world in that community, but you have been abandoned because your labor, your work, your ability to provide an income through working in a steelworks or a factory is no longer wanted, then those communities, it seems to me, are increasingly having to look to themselves to provide order, to provide security, to provide protection. And it's a savage condemnation, it seems to me, that they feel that they're placed in those positions. It's a savage condemnation of successive government policies which have widened the gap between the rich and the poor.